For 2023, the Toyota Supra has leveled up with a brand new manual transmission to meet the Z. Toyota also revised the suspension and the steering, and we're going to take this thing out on the road for a test drive, check out the new manual, take a look at all the exterior and interior details. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, starting with the trim levels, there's the base 2.0 liter, the 3.0, the premium, and the A91. Now, exterior-wise, the Supra stays the same over the last couple of years with LED daytime running lights, turn signals, and these 6-lens auto-leveling LED headlights. This paint color, this blue, is called Stratosphere. I think it looks pretty sweet, and we have these optional 19-inch forged gunmetal wheels, and you're going to get 4-piston Brembo brakes up front with these nice looking red calipers. Dimensionally, the Supra is really small at just over 172 inches and less than 5 inches of ground clearance, paired with this adaptive variable suspension with an active rear differential in this inline 6-cylinder. And for 2023, Toyota even revised the steering and the suspension, and we'll talk about that in the test drive. And in the back, you're going to get this spoiler, the LED combo taillights, backup light, and dual exhaust outlet. Cargo space is a little wonky. The opening is really small, but the space inside actually isn't too bad with this lift back at 10.2 cubic feet, and it's a little wider than it looks once you get underneath of everything, and there's a couple of spaces to hook up bags or grocery bags. Now, the front seats of the Supra will come in a few different trims, but we've got leather right here and their 14-way power adjustment, including bolster adjustment and 4-way lumbar. These seats are comfortable for me. You can adjust the lumbar to give them nice support. The headrest is fixed. They're like a sport bucket seat right here, and they're nice and snug and hold you well when you're driving this car. There's no back seat, as you saw with the cargo space, but overall, I like these seats. They're heated, and they have memory settings on them as well. And just for reference, I'm 5'9". I have this seat all the way down. I can't quite make a full fist above my head, so taller individuals, you're gonna wanna check it out for yourself. Now, hopping inside the Supra, I've gone through a pretty detailed look of this before, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in here because nothing's really changed, and it's definitely got some of the B-word interior bits in here. But you get a soft panel up on the door, you've got a soft but skinny armrest, some piano black up here, and a tiny little storage bin down there. The steering wheel is fairly comfortable to hold on to. It's a little bit angular. It's got some stitching on the inside right here, and it is leather wrapped, of course. We have push button start. Got a nice little startup sound in here, and there's our 6-speed manual. It is the reverse all the way over, but otherwise, I mean, it feels very nice. It's got a nice short throw as well. It doesn't take long at all to get used to, and it has automatic rev matching too. Overhead, Toyota gives us a little color head-up display. Right in front, you get a partial digital display here, so this is a little bit interesting. You've got your speedometer over there. Your gear's always going to be in the middle, and then some of the driver information, you use your left stalk to change that down there. Otherwise, nothing too extravagant up here. But with this manual, I definitely like having that tack front and center right in the middle. Moving over, we've got this 8.8-inch display, which is standard here. Don't mind the flicker, that is just because of the camera. And you can control this with the little control knob down below. It's pretty typical, nothing's different, nothing's changed on here. You can pretty much have it however you want. We will get wireless Apple CarPlay, but as far as I know right now, there's still no Android Auto. And yes, it is wireless. You have this wireless charging mat down there. You can still plug in, or you have a 12-volt power outlet. You can also touch the screen, so you don't have to use your command knob. You've got these huge front and center air vents, and even a little bit more controls down here for your audio. Temperature controls right here. It is a dual zone climate control. Heated seat button is right over there. Everything is easy to use. Down here we got auto stop start, sport button, safety system stuff, parking sensors, and an electronic parking brake. Takes a little getting used to. There's no automatic brake hold, which I've found is actually kind of nice to have with the manual. And then our command knob is right over here. As you can see, you've got some little carbon fiber trim right next to it. Then you've got shortcuts on there, or you can completely control everything from there. Now, this little center area doesn't actually lift up. It has separation like it does, but it's where your cup holders are. The cup holders are decent size, and they're actually in a decent location to where they don't get in the way when I'm trying to shift. Like some kind of just seem to be right here, and you just bump your elbow on it. Now, since this doesn't lift up, the only little storage area is right behind it back there. It's just a small little bin, and it's not concealed. You will get a softly lined glove box over here though. Overhead's an automatic dimming rearview mirror. There's no sunroof in here or anything like that, but you've got some cutouts in the roof to make it a little better for taller individuals. Visibility out of here is definitely not great. Now honestly, where I sit, I have the seat fairly low, and this little part right here does kind of get in my way. I mean, it's a little bit tricky to see in certain areas. Under the hood, the specs are still the same. There's a 4-cylinder offered at the base, then this 3-liter inline 6-cylinder twin-scroll turbo with 382 horsepower, and now for 2023 we get a 6-speed manual just with this inline 6. Alright y'all, we are now behind the wheel of the Supra, and this is first time I've been in the Supra in a couple of years. I drove that 2021 model, obviously had the automatic, now we've got the manual, and you know, got to admit, I'm not a super good driver with the manual. I haven't driven them consistently, but I'll try to give you an idea that it's a fun car to drive. It's fun for me at least, and I think it's exactly what the Supra needed, especially with the new Z coming around. And this has great torque too, being a turbo. Just a little throttle, boom, you get on that, get going real quick. And this does have rev matching too, so if you want to get aggressive with your shifting, you don't have to heel toe. If you're not used to driving a manual, that's a good thing, but otherwise if you wanted to do that, it is automatic, so it does automatically do that. Now, impressions here, this has some nice tight steering. We're not even in sport mode right now. It just handles well. It's stiff, but I feel like, from my memory bank, I feel like it's not as stiff as it was before. And this is a variable suspension, so it will play out a little differently on different road surfaces and driving manners. Even just chilling here right at 2,000 RPM, after a second, you get that turbo kicking in. So it is ready to go. Downshift to second. All right, I'm gonna put us in sport mode. Little bad on that clutch there. Handling, sport mode, things are nice and tight. Fourth gear hanging around 3,000 RPMs here. And you get some nice sound in this car as well. Go up. There is a little bit of snap, crackle, and pop in that exhaust. Downshifts are nice and crisp. Ooh yeah, you let off that exhaust, you get some snap, crackle, pop for sure. Definitely fun to drive. Good rev match. Now Toyota had to make some revisions to the torque at the upper end of the RPM, putting this manual in to be able to handle the torque with this manual transmission, and I couldn't tell a difference. I mean, I think it does fantastic. It's fun to drive. You can get a driver assist package even with this manual. It's not the radar cruise control, but you can get regular cruise control, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic, I believe, and parking sensors. Now just cruising, let's try a fourth gear to second gear downshift. Ready to go. That high rev range still sounds great, and you still have great power up in those RPMs. Now the one thing about the Supra that I noted before, and obviously this isn't what it's all about, is that it is kind of loud, you know, road noise wise, on especially rough roads like this. It's not horrible, but it does take away a little bit of the fun because of the sound that you lose with the engine and exhaust. But otherwise, I don't have anything really to complain about with the driving dynamics. It handles well, it's got nice tight steering, sport mode or not, it's still fun to drive, it sounds good, the manual is fun and very quick shifting, and it's really smooth if you're not great at driving a manual transmission. That's something I've got to add in there. So hope you enjoyed this. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. So to wrap things up on this 2023 Supra, it's nice to see that they offered a manual. Who knows if they would have if Nissan didn't with their Z, but at least we have that. We've got suspension revisions, we've got steering revisions, and it's just a fun car to drive, and it's more fun than ever now with this manual and this super fast powertrain. And that base 4-cylinder is actually fairly peppy with a 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. A thumbs up would be super helpful. Have a great day.